Hello, in this video I'll be talking about surface areas of prisms and pyramids. If you picture a room, most rooms are rectangular prisms, and so if you wanted to paint the walls and the ceiling and the floor, you would need to paint all of the surfaces in that prism. And so that's what the surface area is. It's the area on the sides and the top and the bottom. Or if you were designing a box for a certain item in a store or something, and you want to draw a picture on the box and you want to put the title of the item, or a new cereal box or something like that, the design space you would have there would be all the surface areas of the different sides or faces of the object. So imagine if we have this rectangular prism like we do right here, and I have some measurements on it. So the height is 3 inches, and the length here is 7 inches, and the width or the depth is 10 inches. Often what you can do to figure out surface area is draw what's called a net. And it's like cutting along the edges of the object and flattening everything out. And so a net for this might look like, well, let's see. If I look at the bottom rectangle here, so I'm going to have a bottom rectangle. It's not going to be the exact size, but get the idea. And there's this side little rectangle here. So that's going to be like that. And then we have another big rectangle, which is the top. It should be about the same size as the big one. Not perfect, but... And then we have that left side there, which is there. So now we have the bottom, the side, the top, and the other side. And then these little flaps on the top and bottom might look something like this on the net. Alright, and so to figure out the surface area, we just need to label all the important dimensions here. And so this is 10. So everything, all these lengths here are 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You don't really have to label them all because of the way they're kind of set up next to each other. You can see that it's all 10. Now this is 7 right here, so that's 7. And this long one is 7 here, and so is this one. And again, since these are all kind of set up parallel to each other, you can see that they're all 7. And then this is 3. So you can see that this dimension is 3, and so is this height right here. And so now to find the surface area of this net, you would just look at each, in this case, rectangle. And so I'm going to erase this one here. So this one, 10 by 7, is 70. This is 3 by 10, so this is 30. And this one is 70, and this one is 30, because these two are the same. And let me erase the insides of these here. And so this one is 7 by 3, which is 21, and 21. And so the surface area of this object is just all the areas added together. So we have a 70 plus a 30 plus a 70 plus another 30 plus a 21 and a 21. And when you add them all together, it looks like you get, there's 100 and 100, so 221, 242. And since we're talking about area, these are square inches in this case, so we can write 242 square inches. Now if we have a triangular prism, the net's going to look a little different. So we can start by showing the bottom rectangle here, this big one there. And it looks something like that. It looks like we have a rectangle on the side. Maybe it doesn't look quite as large. Okay. And then we have another rectangle on the other side. I'm not sure about the dimensions yet. I'll figure that out later. I don't think they're the same, but they might look a little bit the same in the drawing. And then we have these two triangles, and we could fold those out like that. So we're flattening out this shape essentially by cutting along the top here. So now let's label some of the dimensions. Looks like all these are 9, so this is 9, 9, 9, 9. And then it looks like the height of this triangle is 3, and then this is 4, which means that this is 4. Because remember, when it's folded along this line, this and that match up. And then it looks like this is 5, and so this is also 5. So I think, oh wait, there's one more. This is 6. This edge here is 6. So I'll write that. So now if we find the area of each shape here, we have 9 times 5, that's 45. We have a 9 times 6, that's 54. And we have a 9 times 4, that's 36. And then each of these triangles is the same because they're congruent bases. And so it's 6 times 3. So let me erase the 6 here just to give me more room. So it's 6 times 3, which is 18, but it's half of that because it's a triangle. So then each of these triangles is 9. So we have a 9 and a 9. That 9 goes on the inside there. And so the surface area of this triangular prism is 45 plus 54 plus 36 plus 9 plus 9. So when we add these all up, we get, let's see, 99 plus 36 is 135, plus 9 is 144, and then 153. Might have to check my math on that. I feel like I made a mistake, but I'm not sure. And since there's no units, we just say units squared. So if they were feet, we would put feet squared. If they were inches, we'd put inches squared, and so on. Since there's no units, we just write the word units. All right, let's move on to my last example for this. So here we have a square pyramid. You wouldn't necessarily know it's a square pyramid unless I told you, because it could be a rectangle. Like this might be 11. But I'm just going to go ahead and tell you it's 12, and I'm going to label this as such. So each side of the square is 12. And so the net of this looks like a square with a bunch of triangles coming off of it. So something like that. These triangles all should look congruent. I know they don't exactly in my drawing, but you get the idea. And the height of all these triangles is 12. Nope, that's a lie, is 14, as labeled right here. 14 is the height. And the base is 12, so 12. And since it's a square, the 12 goes all the way around. Alright, so each triangle is 14 times 12 divided by 2. So if I write down the formula here, it's base times height divided by 2, so 14 times 12 divided by 2, which is easier if I do the division first. So for instance, if I say 12 divided by 2 is 6, then I know that 14 times 6 is 84. So that's the area of just one of the triangles, and those are all going to be the same, so I can just write 84 on there. You should probably double check my math there just to be sure. And then the square is 12 times 12, which is 144. So we have 4 triangles at 84 apiece, gives us 336 plus that square, which is 144, is going to be, looks like 480 square units. Now, as you can see with all these calculations everywhere and the picture and all these numbers, it can get pretty confusing. And if you keep it organized, it's going to make it a lot easier to finish this problem without making a mistake. So I recommend when you're doing this is making a little list of all the shapes. So we could say like area of the square equals side times side. We have area of the triangle, which is going to equal base times height over 2. And then, so you don't have to do this 4 times, you could just say, 4 of these or something. usually I'll put something like 4 at, well, I don't know, something like 4 at whatever the area is. So some way to multiply that by 4. And so this way you can just plug in over here and you don't get lost when you do a calculation and think you're done already. So definitely keep everything organized here. Write down the formulas, plug in the formulas, and then add them all up to find the surface area. Alright, that should be it for the video. Thanks for watching.